Lisa Matthews pulled into the parking lot of Elite Fitness Center at 6:15 a.m. on a Thursday morning. The gym was already busy with early risers getting their workouts in before heading to the office. Lisa grabbed her worn gym bag from the passenger seat and headed toward the entrance. She wore simple gray workout clothes, her hair pulled back in a ponytail, and no makeup. She looked like any other person coming in for a morning workout. Before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Now let's get back to the video. But Lisa wasn't just any gym member. 3 days ago, her company Apex Holdings had finalized the purchase of Elite Fitness in all 17 of its locations across Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee for $42 million. The deal had been in the works for 6 months and had closed on Monday. Today was Thursday, and Lisa wanted to see her new investment firsthand before the official announcement went out next week. She'd chosen the Atlanta flagship location because it was the crown jewel of the chain, the original gym that founder Derek Stone had opened 12 years ago before expanding into a regional powerhouse. Lisa had read all the financial reports and seen all the numbers, but she wanted to see how the place actually operated. She wanted to see how staff treated members and how the facility was maintained. She wanted to see it all without anyone knowing who she was. The front desk was staffed by a young woman named Ashley, who barely looked up when Lisa approached. Lisa smiled and said, "Good morning. I'd like to get a day pass to try out the gym." Ashley finally looked up and her expression shifted slightly when she saw Lisa. "Day passes are $50. That's fine." Lisa pulled out her credit card and handed it over. Ashley took the card and swiped it, then handed Lisa a clipboard with a waiver form. "You need to fill this out and sign at the bottom." Lisa filled out the form using her real name and contact information, then handed it back. Ashley glanced at the form, and her eyebrows raised slightly when she saw the name, but she didn't say anything. She printed out a temporary badge and handed it to Lisa along with a facility map. "Locker rooms are down that hallway." Ashley pointed vaguely to the left. "Let me know if you need anything." Lisa thanked her and headed toward the locker rooms. The facility was impressive with high ceilings, modern equipment, and floor-to-ceiling windows that let in natural light. Everything looked clean and well-maintained, which was good. Lisa had paid a premium for this chain, and she wanted to make sure the quality matched the price. She changed into her workout clothes and headed to the cardio area, where she got on a treadmill near the windows. She started with a light jog and watched the gym come to life around her. Members filtered in and staff moved through the space, checking equipment and greeting people. Everything seemed normal and professional. Lisa started to relax, thinking maybe her concerns about the corporate culture had been overblown. Then she heard a voice behind her, loud and sharp. "Excuse me, you need to come with me." Lisa turned to see a man in his late 30s wearing a tight black polo shirt with Elite Fitness embroidered on the chest. He was muscular with light brown hair styled with too much gel and an expression that suggested he was used to being obeyed. His name tag read, "Derek Stone, owner." Lisa slowed the treadmill to a stop. "Is there a problem?" Derek crossed his arms and looked her up and down in a way that made Lisa's skin crawl. "Yeah, there's a problem. You're using equipment you didn't pay for." "I bought a day pass at the front desk." Lisa kept her voice calm. "I paid $50. Derek smirked. "Day passes are for people who are seriously considering membership. You're not seriously considering membership here." Lisa stepped off the treadmill and faced him. "How do you know what I'm considering?" "Because I know my clientele, and you're not it." Derek's voice was loud enough that people nearby were starting to stare. "This is an upscale facility. Our memberships start at $200 a month, and most of our members pay for premium packages that run $500 or $600. You came in here with a ratty gym bag and clearance rack workout clothes. You're not our demographic." Lisa felt anger beginning to simmer, but she kept her expression neutral. "So you're refusing to let me work out because of how I look? I'm refusing to let you waste our time and resources when we both know you can't afford to be here." Derek stepped closer, and his voice dropped slightly but was still audible to everyone around them. Look, I'm trying to be nice about this, but you need to leave. There's a Planet Fitness about 3 miles from here that's more in your price range. You'd fit in better there. Several gym members had stopped their workouts to watch the confrontation. Some looked uncomfortable, while others seemed to be waiting to see what would happen next. Lisa noticed that most of the members were white and affluent looking, the kind of people who drove luxury cars and wore designer workout gear. She also noticed that she was one of only 3 black people visible in the entire gym at that moment. I paid for a day pass, which gives me the right to use this facility for the day. Lisa's voice was steady. I'm not leaving. Derek's face reddened. You're leaving, or I'm calling security to remove you. Your choice. On what grounds? On the grounds that I own this gym and I decide who gets to use it, and I'm deciding that you don't belong here. Derek pulled out his phone and started scrolling. In fact, I'm going to refund your $50 right now and revoke your day pass. You're no longer welcome in this facility. Lisa watched him process the refund on his phone, then looked back at her with satisfaction. There, your money's been returned to your card. Now leave before I have you removed for trespassing. Before you do that, Lisa said, pulling out her own phone, I suggest you call your corporate attorney, James Reynolds. His number should be in your contacts. Derek looked confused. Why would I call our attorney? Because he has some information you need to hear before you make this situation any worse for yourself. Derek laughed harshly. Are you threatening me? Lady, I don't know who you think you are, but you're about to learn a very expensive lesson about trying to intimidate business owners. He pulled out his radio and pressed the button. Security, I need you in the cardio area now. We have someone who needs to be escorted out. 2 security guards appeared within 30 seconds, both large men in their 20s wearing black uniforms. Derek pointed at Lisa. She's trespassing and she's being combative. Remove her from the building immediately. The guards looked uncomfortable. Sir, she has a day pass badge. I refunded her pass. She's no longer a paying customer, which makes her a trespasser. I want her physically removed from my property right now. One of the guards stepped toward Lisa. Ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to come with us. Lisa held up her phone. I'm calling James Reynolds right now. I strongly suggest you wait before touching me, because if you put your hands on me without cause, you're going to be named in a lawsuit along with your employer. She dialed the number and put the phone on speaker. It rang twice before a professional male voice answered. James Reynolds. James, this is Lisa Matthews. I'm at the Elite Fitness flagship location in Atlanta, and the owner is attempting to have me physically removed from the building. There was a pause, then James's voice came back sharp and alert. Derek Stone is trying to remove you? That's correct. He's standing right here with 2 security guards. Put him on the phone immediately. Lisa held out the phone to Derek, whose face had gone from red to pale. He took the phone hesitantly. This is Derek Stone. What the hell are you doing? James's voice was loud enough that people nearby could hear it through the phone speaker. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? Some woman who came in here trying to use our facilities when she clearly can't afford, Derek started to say, but James cut him off. That's Lisa Matthews. She's the CEO of Apex Holdings, which as of Monday owns Elite Fitness. She owns your gym, Derek. She owns all 17 locations. She owns your job, your salary, and your future. And you just tried to have the owner of the company physically thrown out of her own building. The color drained completely from Derek's face. He looked at Lisa, then at the phone, then back at Lisa. His mouth opened and closed, but no sound came out. The security guards had taken several steps back and were staring at the ground. The gym members who'd been watching were frozen in place, some with their mouths literally hanging open. That's not possible, Derek finally whispered. Nobody told me about any sale. You were sent an email on Tuesday informing you of the change in ownership, James said coldly. You were told that the new owners would be conducting site visits this week and that all locations should maintain the highest standards of customer service. Did you not read that email, Derek? I get hundreds of emails. I can't read them all. Well, you should have read that one. Now put Lisa back on the phone. Lisa took the phone back. Thanks, James. I'll call you later to discuss next steps. Lisa, wait, James said. Before you hang up, I need to tell you something. This isn't the first complaint we've received about Derek's behavior. During due diligence, we found 3 separate complaints from former members alleging discrimination. The previous owner settled them quietly and never took action against Derek. I was going to bring it up in our meeting next week, but given what just happened, I think you need to know now. Thank you, James. That's very helpful information. I'll handle it from here. She hung up and looked at Derek, who was now visibly shaking. The 2 security guards were still standing back, unsure what to do. The entire cardio area had gone silent, with everyone watching and waiting to see what would happen next. Derek finally found his voice. I didn't know. Nobody told me about the sale. This is a misunderstanding. The sale closed on Monday. Lisa's voice was ice cold. The official announcement goes out next week to the public, but key personnel were supposed to be notified on Tuesday. I'm guessing you didn't read your email like James said. I get so many emails every day, Derek said desperately. I can't possibly read them all. This isn't my fault. Actually, it is your fault. You decided not to read important company communications, and that's on you. But that's not even the main issue here, Derek. The main issue is what you did to me this morning. Lisa stepped closer to Derek, who instinctively backed up. I came here to see how my new investment was being run. I wanted to see how staff treated members and how the facilities were maintained. I wanted to see it without anyone knowing who I was, because people act differently when the boss is watching. And what I saw was the owner of this gym, a man I'm paying a significant salary to run a quality operation, racially profiling a customer and attempting to have her physically removed because she didn't meet his standards of what a gym member should look like. That's not what I was doing, Derek stammered weakly. I was just trying to protect the brand. We have a certain image to maintain. An image that excludes black women who don't wear expensive workout clothes. Lisa's voice was sharp. Is that the image you've been maintaining, Derek? Derek said nothing, and his face had gone completely white. James just told me about the discrimination complaints that were filed against you. 3 separate incidents that the previous owner swept under the rug. How many other incidents were there, Derek? How many people did you turn away or humiliate because they didn't look right to you? I never, Derek started, but Lisa cut him off. Don't lie to me. I can see it in your face. You've done this before, and you thought you'd get away with it again. But this time, you picked the wrong person to discriminate against. Lisa pulled out her own business card and handed it to Derek. My company specializes in acquiring underperforming businesses, improving their operations, and increasing their profitability. Elite Fitness wasn't underperforming financially, but the previous owner wanted to retire, and we saw tremendous growth potential. I was excited about this acquisition. I thought this could be the foundation for a national expansion into 100 locations or more. Derek looked at the card but said nothing. But I can't expand a business that discriminates against customers based on race or economic status. I can't build a national brand on a foundation of racism and exclusion. So here's what's going to happen, Derek. You're fired effective immediately. Security will escort you to your office, where you'll collect your personal belongings under supervision. You have 30 minutes to be off the property. Your final paycheck will be mailed to your address, and any legal matters will be handled by our attorneys. If you try to contact me or anyone else in my company, we'll add harassment to the list of reasons for your termination. Derek's face crumpled, and tears actually started forming in his eyes. Please, this is my life. I built this company from nothing. I started with 1 location 12 years ago and grew it into 17. You can't just take it away from me. You didn't build it from nothing. You built it on loans from investors, on the backs of employees you underpaid, and on a business model that excluded anyone you deemed unworthy. And yes, I can take it away because I own it now. You don't work for Elite Fitness anymore, Derek. You work for me, and I don't employ people who treat others the way you just treated me. Lisa turned to the security guards who were still standing there looking uncomfortable. Please escort Mr. Stone to his office and make sure he leaves the property within 30 minutes. If he refuses to leave, call the Atlanta Police Department and have him removed for trespassing. I'll be in the main office if you need me." The guards nodded and moved to flank Derek, who looked like he'd aged 10 years in the last 5 minutes. "Please," Derek said one last time, looking at Lisa with desperate eyes. "I have a mortgage, a family. I'll lose everything. You should have thought of that before you decided to humiliate someone based on the color of their skin." Lisa's voice was final. "You made your choice, Derek. Now you live with the consequences." As they walked Derek toward the offices, Lisa turned to face the gym members who were still watching. Many had their phones out and had clearly been recording the entire exchange. Lisa didn't care. She wanted this documented. "My name is Lisa Matthews, and as of this week, I own Elite Fitness. I want to be very clear about something. This gym is for everyone who wants to improve their health and fitness, regardless of their income, their background, or the color of their skin. If you have a problem working out alongside people who don't look like you or who can't afford designer workout clothes, then I suggest you find a different gym. Because under my ownership, Elite Fitness is going to be a place where everyone is welcome and everyone is treated with respect." She paused and looked around the room, making eye contact with as many people as she could. "And if any staff member treats a customer the way Mr. Stone just treated me, they'll be following him out the door that same day. Is that understood?" Several people nodded, and one woman actually started clapping. Soon, most of the gym had joined in with genuine applause. A few people looked uncomfortable, and Lisa made a mental note of their faces. Those were probably the members who agreed with Derek's approach, and she wouldn't be sorry to see them leave. Lisa didn't smile. She just nodded once and walked toward the locker room to change. She needed to get to the main office and start making calls. This was going to be a very long day. 30 minutes later, she was in the gym's main office reviewing files and making phone calls. James Reynolds arrived within the hour, along with 2 other executives from Apex Holdings. They spent the rest of the day conducting damage control, reassuring staff that their jobs were safe, reviewing operations, and beginning the search for a new general manager. Lisa also ordered a complete review of all membership applications and cancellations from the past 3 years. She wanted to know if there was a pattern of discrimination, if certain demographics were being systematically excluded or discouraged. The data she found was damning. Approval rates for Black and Hispanic applicants were significantly lower than for white applicants, even when income levels were comparable. Several applications had notes like, "Not our target market" or "better fit elsewhere" written in the comments section. By Friday morning, the story had spread throughout the Atlanta fitness community. By Monday, it had gone viral on social media, with people sharing their own stories of discrimination at upscale gyms and fitness clubs. The hashtag Elite Fitness Exposed was trending, and Lisa's company was getting more publicity than they'd ever imagined. But instead of running from the story, Lisa leaned into it. She held a press conference on Tuesday, where she outlined the changes coming to Elite Fitness, including mandatory anti-discrimination training for all staff, the creation of a diversity and inclusion task force, new membership policies that focused on fitness goals rather than economic status, and a scholarship program that would provide free memberships to low-income families. She also publicly acknowledged the discrimination complaints that had been filed against Derek Stone and apologized to anyone who'd been mistreated at any Elite Fitness location. She provided an email address and phone number where people could report past incidents and promised that every complaint would be investigated thoroughly. The response was overwhelming. Within a week, Elite Fitness received over 300 messages from people sharing their experiences. Some were heartbreaking stories of being turned away or humiliated. Others were messages of support thanking Lisa for taking action. The media coverage was intense, but mostly positive, with many outlets praising Lisa's transparency and commitment to change. Derek Stone tried to fight his termination through legal channels, claiming wrongful termination and breach of contract. His lawyer argued that Derek had been acting in the company's best interests and that he couldn't have known Lisa's identity. The case went nowhere because the evidence of what he'd said and done was ironclad. Multiple witnesses confirmed the story, and several people had video footage of the confrontation. Derek eventually settled out of court, signed a non-disclosure agreement, and disappeared from the fitness industry entirely. Within 6 months, Elite Fitness had doubled its membership and opened 3 new locations. The changes Lisa implemented had attracted a much more diverse clientele, and the company's reputation had gone from exclusive and intimidating to welcoming and inclusive. Revenue was up 40%, and employee satisfaction scores had improved dramatically. Lisa never worked out at an Elite Fitness location again, though. She'd seen what she needed to see and made the changes that needed to be made. But she never forgot that Thursday morning or the look on Derek's face when he realized what he'd done and what it was going to cost him. Because sometimes the person you underestimate is the person who controls your entire future. And sometimes prejudice doesn't just cost you respect or reputation, it costs you everything you've built. Derek Stone learned that lesson the hard way, and Lisa made sure that his story became a cautionary tale for every business owner who thought discrimination was an acceptable way to run a company. If this story moved, you share it. Because discrimination happens every day in every industry, and the only way to stop it is to hold people accountable, especially when they think no one important is watching. Thank you very much for listening. Please let us know what you think of this story in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any other videos.